For days they fought, lay blade to flesh, a daily exercise in death and dismemberment, freeing slaves held in a small mine, and slaying those who till soil and feed the holy soldiers. It was war from here. When the sun fell, Rusthilt gathered his followers and stormed the capital. An endless river of soldiers fell from the mouth of the city, and the Rust Bandits would meet them head-on, clashing steel with steel, fighting until sunrise, only to retreat when his followers began to fall around him. In the momentary breaks of fighting, they would gather their fallen, lick their wounds, and retreat to the mines. Days would pass as they healed, but when all could walk, Rusthilt commanded they fight again. This was the way of the Rust Bandits. Keep their numbers small and ensure their reputation is earned. But there was one among them who thought for himself. Silvershade. How he had grown confident over the years, and now he determined that it was time to test that confidence. Before we get going, this is incredibly dumb and I don't know if anyone's going to see this. I've been grinding out Blister Hill for on and off a couple months now, and the numbers very rarely change. I thought maybe I could start whittling them down, but it seems as though I've only knocked about 50 of them out, and that's a tactic that has been fraught with danger but has been working for us. However, Silvershade has found his way simply into the throne room, and laying is the Lord Phoenix himself, but he's got a 2% chance to kidnap the man. Oh my god. Oh my god, we got the fucking blade. It came right off of him. There was a 37% chance. I wasn't expecting to succeed on that. I really want this armor. If I move these, can I? Oh my god. We just slipped his armor off while he slept. I can't. What? Oh, it doesn't stop his it doesn't decrease or increase the chance I'm gonna wake him up. All right, we can't steal anything else off of him. I can't. I gotta see if I can kidnap him, and if I can't, I gotta run. I promised you I would never forget that Kenshi would get its conclusion, no matter how long it took. And as promised, and as I've said, I've been working on telling Rusthilt's tale behind the scenes for a while. Before we get into how we got to where we are and where all of this is going to end up leading, I want to explain why it took so long for me to get back. Basically, it boils down to story. While it would have been smarter and probably mechanically more intelligent for me to dive into this game and go recruiting and create a huge army and assault Blister Hill, that was never Rusthilt's way of working, ever, in both seasons. He built his own little troop of people, but those who he works with and those who he recruits are small, trustworthy. Rusthilt was a farm boy made a leader, not a soldier made a general. He wasn't one to lead large numbers of people. So, in the time that I've been playing, on and off, while doing other things and working on Zomboid and all my other projects, I've been slowly but surely attacking Blister Hill, diving between both the
holy mines and the holy farm as my resting points as I've assaulted across the river consistently. Usually we meet up around this hill here. In fact, if we swing back here, there still might be some bodies from the last engagement if I can actually see them. It's over here. It's right up here. There's a ton of blood probably here, and if we swing up there, we might be able to see remnants of loot that I left up there. But basically, I'd swing out here, I'd hit some patrols as they patrol, come up here, and just as they'd file out on their own, they'd see me and come attack me, and we'd fight for as long as we could. And then once I saw a couple of my own men and women falling, we'd scoop them up as soon as the fighting ended, and we'd run. The river raptors in the meantime would usually swing up, start eating corpses, and actually kind of keep the soldiers occupied to mask our retreat while we actually rested and healed. Right now, we're in the mines where we have a gate that I've been working on keeping up and repaired to keep us safe. But a story is as story goes, and Silvershade, while an incredible addition to our party, he himself is impatient and more than one occasion has decided to go in on his own. Now, you should have seen it in the opening monologue, but welcome back to Kenshi, everybody. Silvershade went in on his own to steal, mostly, see what he could grab, and if he was able to, work his way into the main building. He waited till night with all of his stealth-buffed gear, and it actually worked. He stealthed in, and not only was able to nick the Paladin's cross from Holy Lord Phoenix himself, but also his armor, and we did not get his shirt, unfortunately. I tried to knock him out at that point because we had a 7% work for Seto once, and unfortunately it did not work for him, but hey, that's how it goes. And so I started to run with Silvershade, better weapons and better equipment. Everybody started chasing, except Silvershade's so sneaky that he ended up losing sight of most of the soldiers. Only 2 kept chasing. The Holy Lord Phoenix himself and a random guard. Now the Phoenix is chasing us across the river and into our trap. Before we swing out, let's make sure everything's good over here, and I want to grab everybody but Silvershade, and you know what, everybody, and I want them to start getting ready to meet up by this rock here. That's where we're going to end up fighting. If we win this fight, the city should collapse when they wake up and realize their leader is missing. In the meantime, let's keep an eye. The thing is, we've got 2 we have to worry about. He's going to be a pain in the ass on his own. By himself, he has incredible stats. But we should be able to outnumber him pretty well. It's his high paladin that's coming along for the ride that does concern me. We'll see, though. Over here, we see some fighting happening. Could be starving bandits. It is a holy servant versus an escaped servant. That's fine. And then I need to make sure he has not turned around on us. Did we lose him? No, he's right there. He just caught up. He's so fast, dude. He's so fast, but we lost the other guard, which is really good. Ooh, getting a kick. Let's speed up a little bit. Let's keep him moving. The rain is fine. I'm a little nervous because he's starting to beat us up. So let's start fighting back if we can. We're going to send everybody here to start fighting him. Meanwhile, Silvershade's just going to start cutting him up. And he might actually win this fight on his own here. Without armor, without a weapon, he's going to be kind of mincemeat. Oh my god, we're going to do it. Rusthilt hears the a signature whistle from Silvershade over the hill. And like that, just like that, Silvershade actually won. Bandaging himself up as quickly as he can. I want to splint his injuries. Let's get him over here. Pick him up. How hurt is he? He's not hurt at all. He's very hurt, rather. Let's get him picked up. Come here. Come on, everybody. I need you all over here. Come on. Sprint. Like I said, Rusthilt heard a distant whistle that belongs to Silvershade, a stealth signal. As he runs over the hill, he sees a body laying on the ground. Silvershade tosses armor and a weapon on the ground and points. Rusthilt's emotions are mixed. Angry that he himself wasn't able to be the one to bring him down. Angry that Silvershade once again took matters into his own hands and took down the one being who caused Rusthilt so much trauma. And now he also feels and struggles with satisfaction. It was his decision to bring Silvershade into the Rust Bandits in the first place, so shouldn't his victory be ours? Silvershade looks proudly over his body, but Rusthilt gives no indication that he is happy with the job that's done. Instead, he makes a quick movement with his hand. Somebody scoop him up. So Rusthilt will be the one to pick him up. Maybe not. What's happening? Why is he going all the way over here? Well, let's see what happens when he wakes up. We're gonna first aid him. Pick him up. There we go. We got him. I hate blood. Well, sad Neil. Sorry. But that's Blister Hill now. I don't know what's gonna happen to it, but the first things we've got to do is head back to our outpost. We have an injured folk. Shit. Maybe Bad Teeth is a better run. To Bad Teeth. Who's hurting the most? Is it, I'm assuming it's Silvershade. Can somebody splint his injuries, actually? He can. Let's get some splints up. Second help? Yeah, he's gonna be able to hobble at least. The safest, closest spot for us right now is Bad Teeth. So that's where we're gonna have to go. We're gonna follow them on their journey with the Lord Phoenix over the shoulder. I can't believe it worked. I can't believe we were able to sneak in and he just chased. I didn't know that that was a thing he would do. I figured all of his soldiers would chase as well, but Silvershade, the amount of work we've put into him, the amount of skill he's acquired over the course of months, hundreds of hours, truly paid off. But it's interesting. As Silvershade lags a little behind with a limp and everybody pushes forward, knowing that the end is near to Rusthilt's vengeance. Silvershade worries about Rusthilt. When they took their generals, there was an immediate celebration. A cause to continue forward. Motivation to continue liberating. But now that the Lord Phoenix is over their shoulder, Rusthilt seems empty. Debatably because Silvershade did it himself, but Silvershade worries, what if now that he has no motivation, no goal in sight, he finds his own like all warlords have in the past, like the histories speak of as the world fell apart. What if he becomes one of them? What does Silvershade do, if that's the case? We made it to Bad Teeth. Everything's okay, and we're alive. Thankfully. That vile mutt on your shoulders. Ooh, this is not what I was expecting. Who has the vile mutt? Ruka steps forth. Here walks the warrior of warriors. Oh, they don't particularly care. But this is not where we hand him in. We just wanted to stop here. We're gonna head to Stack, if that's where we want to actually hand him in. This was once Holy Nation territory. And how funny it is that we drag the battered, wounded body of an awakened, conscious Holy Lord Phoenix through territory that he was once his, to see the Shek standing at the gates and not his men, to hear us being called. The Shek are shouting as they see us walk by, a sight to behold, a mutt on our shoulders. A victory lap, a victory parade, as we take him where he belongs. Rusthilt ruminates, however. To what end does he do and exist now? He handed over everything to the Shek. And the Shek have held their bargain. They honor him with food, open arms, discounted prices, free roaming between all. And yet, the next morning is finally uncertain. The steps he'll take the next day, unknown. He struggles. Is this the existence he's to have now? What does he do with his followers, his farm, food and money? Will everybody stick around now that they've defeated the enemy they've been working so hard to take down? Or will the Rust Bandits scatter? Or maybe only some of them will scatter out of the Rust Bandit outpost. Most might stay. These thoughts haunt Rusthilt. He can't get them out of his mind. As we walk to Stack, it's interesting to see the world as we've explored it. Where we started in Squin, hilariously, we didn't move all that far. We actually mirrored Squin in a way, but we set up inside of the world of the Badlands, the Wastelands, and what have you, that is a little bit more dangerous. We marched north, knocking out settlements and mines along the way, liberating those that we can. Shek has taken some of the holy mines. I didn't know that was something they could do. We took out Bad Teeth, the Stack, their prisons, Akron's Shield, Narcos Trap, and then pushed south. Admag, Squin, Admag, should I say, allied with us, the last stand. Moved into the swamps and helped even Shark, while using Shark to our own. And the majority of the world, though, has been unexplored. But Rusthilt never really had a need or a desire to further explore. We've come so far. It's been so good to play this game, and while it may not be a bombastic closing to his story, Rusthilt's story was never a bombastic one to be told. Even his most aggressive moves were calculated, patient. Guerrilla warfare tactics against a crowd who, above all else, prided themselves in not guerrilla warfare. I love this. We march by old mines and a couple of Shek actually join us to follow. They have to see, for their own eyes, the phoenix being carried over our shoulder. I love it. And we're approaching Stack. This is where we give away the phoenix. Rusthilt isn't sure about it. Doesn't like the idea that we're giving away his highest prize target, even if these are the ones that we promised we'd do it for. How can he be sure that he won't escape and cause more problems? He should be put to death above everything else, and yet... all the guards have to see that we've actually accomplished it. But only Rusthilt and Ruka will be the ones that head inside to hand over the body. The two that have been here since the beginning. And the only two that will be here to accept glory. Well, the leader is missing. I don't know if I can get these guys out, but I'm gonna try, because I need one of these cages, I think. In the meantime, Ruka walks over and puts him in. The reward was 100,000 cats. Oh my god. Seeing him in the cage, where he clearly does not want to be, Rusthilt takes a moment to speak. Think you can cage me, the Lord Incarnate heretic? The children of Akron will come for me, and you will be smited for your wicked ways. Curse you, Dark One. And like that, he's done. It's as underwhelming as the world of Kenshi is. No fanfare. No cheering. A few gawking eyes and impressed Shek. But that's it. Lord Phoenix has been caged. Rusthilt is successful.